Hello, and welcome back to my Afterfall Insanity playthrough. I want to make a quick apology for the last episode. There was something in the bottom right corner of my screen that kept popping up over the game and messed with the footage from that episode. That will not happen again. That problem has been fixed. I'm going to go ahead and just hop straight in. Now, last time we were left alone by two guards after tranking one of them to, well, diagnose these people ourselves. Tokai gave his idea for why the civilians were acting so crazy. He likened it to the containment syndrome that others have been suffering, though he admits that this is on a much greater scale. We are unable to go back, or to even progress in this direction. So we are left with nothing but to head this way. Into this very ominous room. Now, in these moments is when the game actually does atmosphere well, when you're alone and not fighting anything. Just like that hallway from the second episode, when it was during Tokai's dream. Beyond that, though, this game doesn't end up being very scary. Even the monsters don't contribute much to the fear. Not quite sure why we were allowed to kick that one spot in particular, or why we're picking up pistol ammo for a pistol we don't have. But it wouldn't be the first time games have done that, giving you ammo before you absolutely need it. Hope those people are okay. I mean, not like Tokai could do much if they were, hurt. He's a psychologist, not a doctor. Which begs the question, how much did Colonel Pataki actually know about these people? If he had seen any of them covered in blood, it would be safe to assume that Tokai wouldn't be able to do much. And from all these noises we're hearing, it might be safe to assume that Tokai's got a lot more to worry about than just diagnosing some crazy civilians. Now, some enemies will knock you around. Now, the Pacificator is actually one of the worst weapons in the game. You can't combo with it, and you're very easily knocked out of combat. In fact, this madman is actually probably going to kill me here. Nope, we're fine. There's also an achievement for killing 50 enemies with the pacifier, or Pacificator. We are not going to be doing this. In fact, I am now switching over to the crowbar. Or, almost forgot, I need to display the trank gun. So let's do that. Hopefully that heartbeat noise stops soon. Here we are in Chapter 5.
If anyone can hear me, the contamination is spreading. Please, stay within the sealed areas or equip your breathing masks. The virus must not get into the respiratory system. It causes causes serious brain cell damage. The victims, we cannot help them without access to the laboratories. It is vital to repair the ventilation system before the contamination spreads to other levels. What?
It's a bit strange why the man telling everyone to wear masks so that they don't breathe in the virus is sitting at a desk without a mask on his face. I suppose we're left to assume that his area of the facility is fine. That man that we saw on the monitor there is Professor Tamazuski. First name Stefan. He's just like most other characters in this game, just your typical scientist. He loves knowledge. That's it. Pick up this electric club. Also, well, we'll wait on that. That is your first actual gun of the game that I just skipped picking up, but I want to showcase the trank gun first. Try the soda machine, see if we get lucky. Not that one, this one. Oh, okay. Over here is another note. Interesting as usual. And we're really left with not much direction. Other than our radar. Sometimes it comes in handy. We just hurt ourselves by pushing that button.
What if I try to hack it?
And that's an idea. First of all, let's go around and explore the rest of the entrance here. As far as I know, all of these buttons are, well, unpressable, but it's always worth a shot. Yep, as expected. We need to progress back in the direction of the hacking. Or not here. Or here, but again. Now I noticed the game did tell me the reception terminal. But finding this exact terminal
This console should open the door.
is a little hit or miss. It's this one. Some of these get a lot more in depth, but they do checkpoint you after a certain point. Sorry if I end up failing these quite a few times. They're one of the worst parts about Afterfall Insanity. And we get to see what the trank gun does. Make sure we're not being snuck up on here, which we are. He's going to hit us. And as you can see, the trank gun, while effective, is pretty terrible. So we're going to trade it for our good old GX10 over here. As I show there, R is to reload, like most shooters. Even third-person ones. Oh, sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Well, even though we hacked this door over here, doing nothing to this one for whatever reason. Let's check out this way. Another cattle prod. That will more than likely kill us, so I will not be testing it. What with the checkpoint system in this game being pretty terrible. And we have a new checkpoint. And we're kind of left to just wander here for a bit. Now, once the game starts going, it tends to throw a lot of enemies at you very quickly. So you go from a beginning with a decent amount of combat, but mostly just running away, to it's time to just beat up everything. And as you could tell from hitting on that other guy, the cattle prod, no different from other one-handed weapons. At least the bigger one-handed weapons, like the wrench and the pipe. I'm sorry, the hammer. Well, the hammer is small. The pipe, basically. I believe I just went back upstairs. Yep, I did. Alright. That was stupid of me. Don't want the crowbar. Well, actually, I'll show off the crowbar. Even though it's no different than the cattle prod. Still fun to use. Now, was there anything actually back here that I missed, just in case? This, I believe, is actually where I need to go. Yes, it is. So we are going to check down in this direction just real quick. I might start running around a bit more in these videos, as his basic walk animation takes forever to get anywhere. Or jog animation, I should say. And there is nothing down here for your troubles. Just extra space. And for whatever reason, seeing ourselves on the monitor is incredibly terrifying. Not sure why. Honestly, don't get it. We're wearing a mask on it, though, is the question. Yes, we are. When we come in here, it's just where we were. Nothing worth a scary audio cue for. Now, I suppose our goal for right now, even though the game doesn't express it very well, is to track down Professor Tamazuski. And again, I am sorry if I butcher any of these names. And while they try to distract us with that body on the ground, an enemy runs up. He was already down after 2 hits from the crowbar. Hopefully we don't get too many of those coup de grace. Doesn't seem like the game is going to... Oh, good. I was able to keep hitting him because I kept hammering on the button. Now we need to look for a way to turn off the flame. And once again, the game leaves you to wander around in what is actually a rather sizable area. The game does like to sucker punch you every once in a while by having enemies appear behind you while you're not paying attention. Which is why you might see me scan around just in case. Ah, yes. The power hammer. One of the best weapons in the game. At least in my opinion. It is on par with the other two-handed weapons, the monkey wrench. But not the fire axe, even though it is a two-handed weapon. However, none of the other weapons are capable of decapitating like the fire axe is. At least none of the other two-handed weapons. Now, you might see that for one-handed weapons, combat seems to be built more of blocking than mashing left click. This is due to the weakness of one-handed weapons. However, even as weak as one-handed weapons are, none of them are quite as weak as the that name is terrible. The Pacificator. The other weapons, while occasionally you will get deflected, do enough damage that it's not a concern.
I hope you're not afraid of the dark.
Well, speaking of the dark, even though we don't know who that voice was, this is a very dark area. Fitting for a horror game. What we need to do is go over to this valve and turn it. Not so much a quick time event, but yes, we are mashing buttons. And the music starts. And both these enemies are already ready to go down. As I said, even with two-handed weapons, same animation. Now the PDA, as you see on the right, acts as your health meter. You also might notice that that enemy came back up with a lot more health after being coup de grace the first time. Now I should start running here, as I believe this is an infinite spawn area. Or maybe not. Hard to tell sometimes. And I can't do the coup de grace there, but he's dead. Yes, I do believe this is just an infinite spawn. Or not. Never mind. It's just a disproportionate amount of spawns from each pipe. And that displays why combat in Afterfall Insanity is incredibly easy. No, enemies do not get harder. There are bosses in this game, though, which are an entirely different monster. No pun intended. But we are actually done down in this area. We can check out this direction real quick just for the fun of it, but there is nothing to see. So let's get out of this area so we can actually see again. And another enemy. Now, you can kick enemies. But it uses up your stamina, and to be honest, you're just better off. You're better off just swinging. Because wasting your time to do a kick and miss isn't worth the combo the enemy will do on you afterwards. And that door has no power. Now, after we kill our friend here, I'm going to call it a video. Well, actually, check over here really quickly. Yeah, we'll try this weapon. It's a pickaxe. Another two-handed weapon. For all their effort in giving you a variety of weapons... Oh. Well. We'll find out what that was, hopefully next time. Thanks for joining me.